You'll recognize this gentleman from such great hits as The Walking Dead and True Blood. We have with us Vincent M. Ward. Thank you for being on today.
Man, I appreciate you having me, brother. Thank you.
Oh yeah, well, I wanted to reach out to someone like yourself who's an actor and a writer, so that we can talk about your whole process, what you look for in screenplays, what you like to write about, and maybe just try and mine some nuggets for our listeners today. Before we get in there, I was hoping maybe we could just get a little bit about Vincent's origin story.
Vincent's origin story.
Yes, sir.
Um, Originally from Dayton, Ohio.
All
Been
right.
out here in Los Angeles, California for like 20 years now. I consider it home, even though my entire family is still back in Ohio.
Oof.
Believe it or not, I have 13 grandkids.
What? Oh my goodness.
13, man. So my whole thing is just trying to leave a legacy for them.
Oh,
Um,
wow. You're achieving it, sir.
Man, I'm trying, but I always feel like my best is yet to come. I
Oh,
definitely want to be in a position where I can go back home and do like celebrity baseball games or basketball games,
right.
to show the community that the people that you see on TV are no different from you. They
Yeah.
just happen to be on TV.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's a really good point. I mean, people on TV, they're just normal people. Obviously, we idolize them, but at the end of the
mhm.
day, right? We all take our pants off when we go down to the bathroom. We all put them on one
Indeed,
leg at a time, right?
indeed. One thing that I've learned from when I did the movie Ocean's 11. Every day I played basketball with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle. And I
Awesome.
remember this one particular time, George Clooney's shoe came untied.
Yeah.
And this guy ran out there to tie George Clooney's shoe. George
Wow.
Clooney said, "Hey, brother, I can tie my own shoe." I brought that up to say this. A lot of times people put celebrities on these big old pedestals
Yeah.
and they don't want to be on there. They just want to be treated normal.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you do put them on when you put them on pedestals, they expect everybody to treat them like that. So,
Right. Right. Well, I mean, you're obviously a really grounded person, and I really respect that, and I think that's wonderful. And I find that talent like yourself, that is down to earth, is grounded, really does want to give back to the community, and
mhm.
and is able to really influence that next generation, which I think I have no question that you'll be doing. So I want to discuss with you. Let's work from your actor's perspective first. What
Okay.
are what do you look for in a screenplay? Do you look for character? Do you look for the writer's voice? Is there a specific genre that you like?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and you probably won't hear this from a lot of actors. Um, I'm just grateful to be working.
Okay.
It's not, I don't look for any of that because I'm not in that position where I can pick and choose, especially if it's a major project. Now, if
Right.
it's on an independent or, student film,
Hmm.
yeah, I can pick and choose from that. But
Yeah.
it's still in my mind, I don't want to feel like a student film or independent film. I don't want to feel like I'm bigger, too big for them,
Yeah.
because you have to remember eventually those people gonna come up also.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be like, oh, remember when you didn't do this. For whatever reason. Now, if I'm busy, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I never want to make anybody feel as if I think I'm too good to be in their project.
Oh, I
I'm
love it.
grateful. I'm grateful if somebody calls me and be like, we have something for you. Do you mind if you have time? And
Yeah.
because it could be somebody else. And that thing that they ask you to be in could explode to be some kind of cult have a cult following,
Yeah. No, I
So
think I think you're absolutely right. It is to say something that to keep every avenue open. And I specify this from a writer's point of view, because you get writers that will only stick to one genre because they're comfortable with it.
mhm.
And then almost as an actor gets typecasted, the screenwriter gets kind of typecasted because they
Oh,
can't break out of that genre. That's all they write in. That's all they're comfortable in. And I'm like you. I like to work. You know,
Right.
if I'm going to do a rom-com, I'll write a rom-com. If you want me to
Right.
write a thriller, I can do that. And I'll flex those muscles. It's a different muscle, sure, but I've got to flex it. And I'm sure, you know, as an actor, you've been in The Walking Dead, you've done scary stuff, but I know I've seen you've got a ton of credits. So you've done comedy, right?
Yeah.
You're pretty diverse talent.
Of course, the comedy part, that's more of me. That's more of my personality.
Yeah.
You know, people love to see me play in the horror stuff or, you know, killing somebody or something like that. And I know it's because of my voice and it's because of my height, my build.
Yeah.
But when it comes to all the other stuff, that's who I am. You know, and that's why I love hosting. And I created a show called Conventioning. I created a ton of different travel shows because you never see anybody who looks like me as the host.
Nice.
You know, so I think I'm a mixture of Michael Strahan and Terry Crews and, you know, people like that, big guys with personalities.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that more than remembering the script.
So I would say Oscar, right? He was a gentle giant, right? And you brought that to screen. So even in those moments where, you know, they want you to be this killing machine, you still brought some humanity to that character. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic to be it, because it can't be easy to try and find a vulnerability in a character like that.
But you know what? My character was me.
Yeah.
In real life.
Love it.
You know, I like to say this: just because a person goes to jail or is in prison doesn't make them a bad person. Sometimes it's just they made a huge mistake.
Absolutely.
And that's how Oscar was.
Yeah.
He was in prison for breaking and entering, trying to provide for his family.
Yeah.
And the difference between me and Oscar, first of all, I'm not going to jail for my family. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I would do whatever I have to do to provide.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And yeah, it just, man, just one mistake at the wrong age. We were all there. We were all young. I made some stupid mistakes. And it just takes the one time, and man, it can mess up your future. Absolutely right. But it's nice to see.
Follow you. It'll follow you for the rest of your life. And with social media nowadays, they like to find people's old
for like 10 years ago.
Not even 10. I mean, you could have been a teenager. Your life turned around by now.
Man, so, I thank God there was no social media when I was an awkward teen. That's all I can say. It's like it's the benefit of being a Gen Xer.
Right. It's just like some of these old basketball players. I listen to them, and you know, they try to pretty much judge some of these newer players. And I'm thinking, if it was social media around then, back in the day when y'all was smoking and doing cocaine,
crazy stuff,
drinking beers on the bench and all that other stuff. Come on.
Oh yeah, and there's all kinds of like violence and stuff like that. But people were felt untouchable back in the day. Definitely, social media makes you more accountable for sure. So let's look at your writing perspective, because I know you've been working on some writing. I know you're a screenwriter, story developer. You've got some stuff in the pipe. You've been working on it. What are you looking at? What do you try? How do you like to develop your stories? What do you like to write?
I'm gonna be honest with you again. I write stuff. I write stuff. I create stuff. But the problem is, I don't see myself as a writer.
Okay.
I leave that to you guys. I know how to, when I'm writing down stuff, what I'm really and truly doing is I'm acting out every character.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't really know the specifics, but I know what I want to hear and I know what I want to see.
So,
and then
go ahead.
What I end up doing is I give it to somebody like you to look at it and really and truly bring it to life. I know my lane. My lane is acting.
Very good.
But I come up with some really good ideas, some really good projects. It's just like my conventioning. You know, I never seen anybody go to all. It's 14,000 different conventions in the world. Let's put it that first off.
Wow.
From clothes to your hair to your sex to makeup. is over 14,000.
Wow.
So in my mind, I never seen a host that looked like me create something for me.
There you go.
My horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you really don't really see a black killer except for Candyman. So I'm going to create one.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be different from Candyman.
Yeah.
And even with my psychological thriller, the stepdaddy, it's pretty much a remake of The Stepfather, but you never really see a black guy play that type of character. So that's when I be thinking, just try to make something different. Even like recently, I've been creating something called Little Walter.
Okay.
Never see a black Chucky or Annabelle or anything like that.
So it's like a possessed doll type of thing?
Right. But the difference for me, I don't want people to feel like it's a black movie. It's a movie for everybody. You know what I mean? It's just the character just happen to be black.
No, and I think there's a market for that. You know, I mean, the casts are getting more diverse, and that's good, and they should. And I think that's important, and it's important to have that kind of voice. So, all right. So you like to develop. Obviously, you're looking for originality, which I think is really important, because there can be a tendency to do a knockoff, to do cookie cutter stuff, and you want to be original with your storytelling. And we were talking to Vincent M. Ward here, and if he's spitting original ideas at me, and this is a guy in the business, that tells you right there, let's find some originality.
Right.
Now I think The Stepfather is really interesting. It reminds me of, like, it's like a spin on like that old Poison Ivy with the stepdaughter, and I think a stepfather, it could be really interesting. It could be a terrifying character, actually. So I'm fascinated.
Shot it.
Oh, you shot it. Wonderful.
We shot it. Yeah.
So it's in the can.
It's in the can. It's in the can.
Awesome.
And honestly, I had what I did at first. I created the script, the movie script. But the script that I created, it would have been too expensive for them to do.
Well, that's everybody's first draft.
Right. For the independent. So what happened was they ended up getting another writer, and they used a few things that I had said, and we made that the movie script, made the budget way smaller.
Sure.
But in my mind, it's like, okay, what about the script that I wrote? Which was, to me, a very good script. So I decided to make it into a book. So I have some people looking at the graphic novel right now.
No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, because there's all kinds of marketing, especially around indie films. So you're going to see a lot of indie films come out now, and they just instead of building a film and shooting the film, they're building a brand around the film, right? So you have toys, and sometimes you get video games, and
that's where 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗺 comes from.
Yeah, exactly.
𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗺, the one I was telling you about earlier, 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗺 can be up there with Michael Myers and Leatherface and Jason. I can see that, and I'm trying to brand it for that type for that.
So we could get some sequels out of it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's already designed for 3 or more.
You could have the stepdad version of Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I have a comic book for 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗺. So I've already created a comic book for it too. So
I
got my hands. I'm planting some seeds.
You're doing it right.
From the grow.
Yeah, you're doing it right. That's awesome. All right, so we've got originality. We've got finding that niche. Now, how do you? So it sounds like you do write the script, but you focus more on like a narrative outline. Is kind of what I'm picking up from you. So, and that's great. I mean, for a writer like me to get a narrative outline is awesome, because I love to know where the goalposts are so I can write towards them. So that's actually a boon for whoever you're working with. The worst thing you could have is when you get a client come in and they go, I've got this idea, and you go, oh God, because tell me where I'm going. I think that's good. Or like a 40-page treatment is great, because like we know where to go with it. So I think that's awesome. But where do you get? I see you're looking for originality. Where are you coming up with the ideas? What's inspiring you? Do you wake up in the middle of the night? Do you really?
I dream about it. Just like recently, like where I moved, right? A guy up the street died in his house.
Oh,
Okay. When he died, they found all these cats in his house.
no way.
Yeah, they said it was like 100 cats. This is before I got over
Oh
here.
my
All they
God.
cleared, they had, you know, people come clear all these cats out. One night I'm sleeping and I just started dreaming about these cats. And I started dreaming about this freaking pandemic. And
Yeah.
the next day it's like I can, while I'm asleep, it's like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to I can hear the words and everything. So
Mhm.
the next day I get up and I start writing pandemic cats, you know, like
That's
Sharknado,
awesome.
you know, like
Yeah, I love
zombie
it.
beavers.
That's
And
funny.
it's like I was watching the movie while I was asleep, and I'm I'm laughing and all types
That's
of stuff.
great.
I'm
So
scared.
do you keep a notepad next to the bed, or do you remember it?
I just remember it.
That's awesome, man. Oh, I
I
love it.
just
So
remember it.
I mean, that sounds like divine inspiration beaming
Mhm.
down right there for you to write a indie creature feature with
Yeah.
cats. Yeah.
And
Well,
and I thought about that when I started filming Big Freaking Rats.
big freaking rats.
Big Freaking Rat.
Big
It's like
okay.
they just sold this movie big money.
That's awesome. It's like, yeah, no, but there's a niche for that, like snakes on a
Yeah.
plane and stuff like that.
Oh
you know.
yeah.
I think it all goes back to like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, where you just have these
Mhm.
outlandish kind of creatures, but people want to see it. People want to sit back and be entertained.
I went to a premiere a few years ago, and this place was jam packed.
Yeah.
Paparazzi everywhere, red carpet, everything.
Yeah.
And it was for zombie beavers. I was like, what? All
That's
these people are
crazy.
here for this, but guess what? It was an awesome movie.
Yeah, man.
Zombie beaver.
It's if you're writing a good script about character, if you've got something to say through script, doesn't matter if it's a giant zombie beaver
Yeah.
or
Who
a COVID
would
cat.
have thought Sharknado would be a part 4?
Dude,
I wouldn't have never thought that.
That's insane. Yeah. Well, they're lampooning themselves now, though. That's the crazy thing. Is it's become this own Sharknado bubble where I don't even get half of this stuff anymore.
Me neither. I saw one the other day, 𝗙𝗲𝗃𝗃. I'm like, come on, man. 𝗙𝗲𝗃𝗃. It was like a shark, half octopus. Like,
all right. So let's see what else we got going on. So you're writing, you're acting. So in scripts, you're drawn towards basically whatever just kind of grabs you. It sounds like whatever you read, you're feeling it. Okay.
I mean, of course, my goal is to be on somebody's series or sitcom.
Okay,
or
television.
7 episodes. I want to be on there from the beginning to the end.
Yeah,
that's the goal. Doesn't matter what drama is in or whatever.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think that makes a lot of sense. You love to work and you want to see a story go from birth to end, yeah. So to have that kind of conclusion and have that total arc with,
I want to feel like I'm really part of the team. Let's put it that way.
Well,
when you're a guest star, it's like you're there and then you're gone.
Yeah.
I want to be there from the commercials to the billboards to from season 1 to season 10. That's the goal for me.
Well, I want to see that happen, sir. Let me ask you about this. I don't want to fanboy on you here, but okay. So Oscar, I mean, you were there for Oscar from inception to his tragic end. Did you know that he was going to have a what was it, 7 or 8 episode arc?
They tell you.
Okay.
But you hope for more.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like the character T-Dog. I think he was only supposed to do 3 episodes.
Okay.
He did 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Now, as time went on, I thought I did enough to come back or to be on it longer.
Right.
So
it was pretty tough to probably go through that process.
Yeah, getting killed off. Yeah.
That's got to be pretty hard.
It sucked.
It's got to, I mean, not just because you're looking for work, right? But because you've put this much into that character. I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
most definitely. And the cast and crew was so nice. You know, when you're surrounded by nice people and no egos and all that stuff, you want to be around long as possible.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a great show, but it's a show that's so popular. I didn't even know it was that popular, to be honest with you. I had never even heard of it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but I don't put one project above another.
no.
When I go in and try to give 100% on whatever project it is.
Yeah, fully committed. You know, I interviewed 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗺𝗃𝗶𝗃𝗃 same same type of dedication to a project. Comes in, gives 100%, and delivers. You know, every scene delivers. And then after that, you know, whether the project takes off or not, he knows he did it. And I think that's the same thing. Yeah, you're just a professional, sir, and I respect that.
You want to leave you know, some of those directors go on to the next show, and hopefully they will remember you.
Well, it is a relationship business, isn't it? I mean, when you would say you were breaking in, was there connections that brought you there?
I didn't know anybody. I had moved here from Ohio.
Yeah.
I got my second big role. I'll tell you how and why I got it.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's funny. I did the movie Traffic with Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And we shot it while I was still living in Ohio.
Okay.
When it was time to move here, I had moved to California right when it was time for the premiere of Traffic.
Yeah.
I go to the premiere, and me and my parents, we had already told everybody to check me out. It was my first big thing. My parents were so proud. My baby with Michael Douglas. I'm like, yeah, your boy with Michael Douglas, man. Because my scene was with Michael Douglas.
Oh, that's great.
The scene takes place when Michael Douglas is driving through the neighborhood looking for his daughter. Now, I play like, you know, a drug dealer, bad boy.
Okay.
And Michael Douglas is in his car, and I stop him. He's at the light. I stop him, and he's in his car. I'm in his face. My character was called The Face. And I'm asking him, right, The Face.
That's great.
So I'm asking him, you know, what are you doing in my hood? You know, I'm getting on here and I'm all in his face. He takes off. Now I'm at the premiere. I'm sitting there and my heart is thumping out my chest. Yeah. I'm like, here we go. Because, you know, it takes a while for them to edit it and finally put the movie out.
Oh, yeah, a couple of years. Yeah.
This was like, it had been about a year.
Okay.
And man, he drives right past me. I am devastated. I'm sitting there damn near about to cry. But for some reason, they kept me in the credits. So, I mean, you still get residuals, but I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
What I cared about is people thought I was lying, you know, thought my parents were lying. The credits go up, I see my name as Guy on the Street.
Oh, no.
So I go to Steven Soderbergh afterwards, and I said, hey, man, why y'all cut my part out? Just like that. Not knowing any better, I'm just hurt.
Yeah.
And he was like, whoa, he's looking around like, where's security? He was like, well, Vince, well, we had to pay Michael up front. You know, we went over budget, so, you know, we had to cut some scenes out. He said, you know, that's just how it is.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And I start to walk away. He stops me. He writes down, this is when people used to write down numbers. He wrote down his secretary's number. He said, give my secretary a call. He said, I'm working on a new movie and I have a part for you.
Oh, and that's so nice.
The new movie was Ocean's 11.
Look at that. Oh, that's a sweet story.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that's pretty fantastic. So breaking into the industry is I guess maybe go ahead.
It's tough.
It's tough.
What you done somewhere else? I figured since I did Traffic and I did a lot of stuff around Ohio, I was gonna come here and just boom, it was gonna work.
Yeah. Be a big fish.
Nah, it doesn't work like that. You have to have patience, you have to have faith, you have to have tough skin. You know, you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. You know,
Yeah.
have your stuff together, and most importantly, be professional.
Yeah.
All that being late and, you know, having egos and all that, leave that
Yeah.
out. Leave that out at the door, because whatever you did somewhere else, it doesn't matter.
Everything you just said can be said for a screenwriter. All of it, whether you're a screenwriter, whether you're a producer, filmmaker, or like yourself, talent.
Right.
Yeah, all of those things definitely need to be had. You can't just expect to go there and it's going to happen. You got to put in the sweat equity. You're 100% right.
And then that, and like, even with this whole social media thing, people feel and even some of the casting directors too, and producers, just because a person can put out funny videos and they have millions of followers, doesn't mean they're going to do that same thing once you put a script in front of them.
It's true.
Doesn't mean that those million followers are going to follow them to come see what they're doing. It takes talent. Anybody can make a video and just act silly and people will follow them.
Yeah.
That's why I've lost the respect for the word celebrity.
Yeah.
Because you mean to tell me you could be on a reality show, cussing people out, fussing and fighting, or you could be on social media with millions of followers just being silly or twerking or whatever, and you're considered a celebrity?
Yeah.
That takes no talent.
Yeah.
That's no talent. And I'm not knocking the next person, but that's not talent to twerk and show your body and have millions of followers and people call you a celebrity.
Well, there's weight that comes with it, right? So somebody's called a celebrity. I mean, then there's implied influence that they have over people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying craziness or you're being a role model that isn't very good or moral, well, that's young people are seeing that. People that are easily impressioned are seeing that. So I totally agree with you.
Like, and I understand the
responsibility.
Huh? That's why I understand the word influencer, because you can influence people to think they can do the same thing that you're doing and become rich and famous.
Yeah.
When that 15 minutes is up, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's more to it. There's more to life. And who are you helping, right? I agree with you 100%. Well, I know that you've got your hands in a lot of pots. I'm a little bit the same. Yeah, I've got my hands everywhere. So what do you got going on? You've got like a wine, I think?
Yeah.
All right.
I've always wanted to be like Billy D. Williams back in 𝗁𝗶𝗹𝗺𝗃, or the most interesting man with 𝘁𝗲𝗃𝗃.
Okay.
I wanted to be that spokesperson for somebody's, it didn't have to be liquor.
Yeah.
It could have been anything.
Right.
But I just like the most interesting man. He was so smooth and debonair.
Yeah, they're awesome commercials.
Yeah, and what I wanted to do, I kept on trying to pitch myself to all these different brands, but nobody was biting. So I was like, get this crap. I'm gonna create my own.
That's awesome.
So what happened was, me and my wife, we were going to this winery called 𝗁𝗶𝗹𝗺𝗃.
All right.
In Temecula, and I love 𝗁𝗶𝗹𝗺𝗃. And so I wanted to be their spokesperson. So I started doing stuff for them, but then I thought about it, I'm like, why am I doing this for them?
Okay.
I'm gonna approach them to help me build my own.
Nice.
And that's what we did.
So what's it called?
It's called Ward. It's like
Ward?
Yeah, it's my name.
There you go.
Yeah, it's my name. So.
Well, I look forward to seeing a Ward commercial.
Yeah, man.
With you all being smooth.
Warrior, we just trying to make some work. And the wine is excellent because it comes from 𝗁𝗶𝗹𝗺.
Yeah.
And I would never put my name on something that I didn't believe in.
Right.
I'm not Shaq. I'm not gonna be 7'2"
and get a
little bitty car. They're telling you to buy the car.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was a funny one too. All right, so you've got Big Freaking Rat coming out, which sounds wild.
Yeah.
You got I don't want to admit to this, but I did check out your credits, dude. You've got so many IMDb credits. You're like one of the hardest working actors I've seen. You've got a lot of stuff coming out. What else you got coming out?
Man, It's so much stuff. Honestly, once I finish,
Yeah.
I just move on and see what I can do next.
Yeah. Stay
Um,
busy.
um, even with The Walking Dead, it's like right now I can, even if I try to move away from it, I can never move away from it
Yeah.
because it's still a popular show and it's still on.
Yeah.
And I feel grateful because people really and truly, like my character or whatnot. And some people think that's where I started. I'm like,
No.
been around for a while.
Yeah. Well, you're not, you don't feel like you're being typecasted though, are you? I think
No,
you're
no,
getting
no.
out there. Yeah. I think you've been out there for a while. You've got a lot of stuff on. Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Well,
But let
Vincent,
me tell you this though, brother.
yeah.
If I was being typecasted, guess what? The bills still got to get paid. You
I
want
love
me to play
this.
Oscar again? All right, here I am,
love
Oscar
it.
on another show.
That's so great. Well, it's just, if anything, I think screenwriters can walk away from this hearing that what's from one of the things I think from what I'm getting from you is it's just important to keep working.
Mhm.
Don't get too satisfied. Keep it going. I mean, I myself, 80-hour work weeks,
Yeah.
80
Because
hour
you know what
weeks.
else? You can get down on yourself. You
Yeah.
start questioning yourself. Trust me. You start looking at what other people are doing, but just because somebody is doing something right now doesn't mean they're happy. Doesn't mean like, you know, your time isn't coming.
Yeah.
That's where I would say you have to have faith and you have to be patient. I want, yes, I love the character Oscar, but my goal someday is to win an Oscar.
There it is.
That's the goal. You have to set your goals and your standards high
Oh, it's
and just be patient, man.
my wife bought me a little tiny Oscar. When
Come
we went to LA for one
on
of
over
the,
there.
like, there it is.
Oh boy!
I love the she bought that for me, and she's like,
But
because she
she
was
bought it because she
supporting.
believes in you. She
Yeah.
supports you.
And but that's what you need. You need a support structure. You can't alienate people on this. And if you're sitting there worrying about everybody else and how everybody else is doing it, you're not looking at your own path, your focus is way off. And you're almost guaranteeing that you're not going to make it because you
I
don't
know some
have your eye
people
on the
that's
ball.
I know some people that's on TV and they're miserable. I know
Yeah.
some of them on there and they can't even pay their rent or their mortgage,
Wow.
or they got roommates. I don't want that. I want
No.
to be happy. If I got to wait until I'm 53, 50, 60, and I'm happy and I'm stable and all that other
Yeah.
stuff, then that's what it is. Because I feel like maybe if I would have been blessed with success early in life, I might would have messed it up. You know.
Man, that's crazy that you say it, because I think the same thing. I came into screenwriting late. I came in, I missed my 20s. My 20s, it didn't happen. I came in my early 30s,
Me
where I
too.
really started going for it. And I was like, this is it. This is my passion. This is my love. And so I've gone to, but I kept thinking, man, if I had not been stupid in my 20s, but then I think you're right. If I think back then, I would have blew it, dude.
Wasn't ready.
There's no way. Yeah. I'm
Some
glad.
people blow it because they have a sex addiction. Some people blow it because they weed,
Yeah.
alcohol.
Or it's just immature. I mean, they're just not ready, and that's what, now being 40 years old, 41, I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is where I need to be. And I have the maturity to be able to focus, get through it, be professional. Well, I really appreciate that.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you one more thing. When I turned 30, I was sad. I remember crying when I turned 30 because of where I was in life and what I was doing and how I wasn't focused. But when I turned 40, man, I was so happy. So happy. And I'll be 50 in a couple months. And I'm still gonna be even happier,
Yeah, but at 50, you look incredible. You're going strong. I mean, I know 50-year-olds that their bodies are breaking down. Although I've met people my age. And because I look at myself, I get like, man, I could be in better shape. And then I meet other people my age. I go, I ain't doing too bad.
Right.
I got all my teeth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm doing all right.
Mind is clear.
Yeah.
So, but something that you said about the love and passion, when you have a love and passion for something, there's nothing like it. You would take 100 no's to get that one yes, because you love it so much. And You
It
know, and
does.
sometimes we get in our own heads, like, oh, I'm quit, I'm done with this. But what
Yeah.
else you gonna do? You can't see yourself doing something else.
I think you're right. I think you get to a level where when you're going through the down times and you're really, really down and it's hard and everybody says, no, that's rough. But eventually, when you're able to get past that, the
Hmm.
successes I've noticed, they start building on themselves. And then that starts fueling you. So, like now, I'm putting in a ton of hours. I'm busy all day long, but I'm not tired.
Right.
Like I'm feeling, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I hope I don't have like a chemical imbalance or
Yeah.
something. But
But
like,
but if
I'm
you
feeling
were
strong.
but if you was at this factory working over here, you be tired the first half.
Oh,
But
for
now that
real.
you're doing something that you love, you can
Yep.
do it all day
Yeah,
long.
man. It just feels you're 100% right. Vincent, thank you for coming on today, man. I really appreciate you being with us.
Appreciate you having me, brother. Thank you. Anytime.